Hello, guys, and welcome to Break Time Leap. And today we are in preparation for the new pack release in Magic the Gathering next Friday. I have something quite special for us. I have managed to get both Planeswalker decks, and I shall crack the boxes and we'll discuss what's inside. We'll look at what's inside and whatnot. First off, I'm going to do Ajani, and I'll have a separate video for Tezzeret. And then in a separate video from that, the booster pack contained in these Planeswalker packs, you get 2 in each. I will open them on a separate video because at the pre-release I went to for Aether Revolt, I had to drop one, so I didn't get anything for it. And the second one I went to, I won one game, so I have a little pack of Aether Revolt here, ready for us to crack 5 packs. Again, in a separate video. If you watch this, might be a link. Just let's put the link on that light. The light in my room. Either way, getting on. We have the pack here. This is a terrible quality video because it's running from my tablet. Literally using this just to show some cards and everything, like show the actual cards. So let's open this up and see what we get. Well, we know what we get. Inside all of these, get ready to play 60 card deck featuring a foil premium Ajani, 2 booster packs, strategy insert, and a quick reference guide. Let's open this up now. Good thing about the all the new decks is they actually give you a box that fits it all. Let's take a closer look at Ajani here. We have Ajani as our first card here. It's a bit far away. Hang on. That still feels fairly far away. I shall move them off. Here we go. There he is. And we have Ajani Valiant Protector. The second camera is not quite working as well as I hoped it would be. So in those regards, I am just going to use the one camera from now. First up, we have Ajani Valiant Protector. Planeswalker, obviously. 1 white, 1 green mana, and 4 colorless. He comes into play with 4 loyalty counters, and +2 loyalty counters is put 2 +1/+1 counters on up to one target creature. Doesn't have to be one you control, could just be any creature. +1 is reveal cards from top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Then you put that card into your hand and rest on the bottom of the library in a random order, which can be useful to get out just to get a card in your hand. And this is where things get interesting. His ultimate is -11. Is put X +1/1 counters on target creature where X is your life total, and that creature gains trample until end of turn. So you want to get your life up on them. You want to get your life up high, so you can swing with one creature and trample all over your opponent, it seems. Lovely. Lovely. Now opening said pack. Add to Aether Revolt booster packs. Strategy insert, which lists the cards and such. So it seems this uses 21 cards, 16 spells, and 22 lands. I could probably add a few more lands into this, with some of the ones that I've got. Playing the deck. On the plane of Kaladesh, renegades are in open rebellion against the oppressive consulate. With this deck, you'll harness the Revolt mechanic to empower your cards, while Ajani helps build up your side of the battlefield. Early on, play creatures that can be attacking, and cards like Renegade Map that you can sacrifice. Don't be afraid to let them go to your graveyard. If they do, they'll enable your card's Revolt effects, letting you summon larger creatures like Lifecraft Cavalry, or recruit more to your cause with aid from the Cowl. Once you find Ajani, he'll help grow your forces in both numbers and size until you can overwhelm your opponent's defenses. So it's pretty much, it kind of works like a black in the way, the Revolt, in which sort of like, sack if a permanent's destroyed, the turn that whatever the card says, maybe it's at the end of turn, maybe it's at the beginning, maybe when it comes into the battlefield. If like most of the time that I've seen is if a permanent you control has been destroyed this turn or sent to the graveyard this turn, when this creature enters the battlefield, it gets blah 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 blah. Here's an example on Solemn Recruit. His double strike, and his revolt is the beginning of your end step. If a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, put a +1/1 counter on him. So yeah, this. Let's see what the picture looks like. So yeah, this is the insert, which we don't no longer need. Sorry, it's just sorting out a cable. So let's take a look at the deck. Obviously, we have our Planeswalker Ajani here, leading the deck. There it is. There's the tab. It's stuck to my finger with static. And there's your quick reference, which no one needs. That was a good shot. Throw it over into the corner. Let's take a look at the cards in the deck. I might go into detail on each card. We are talking about them. So Ajani, to start with, we have our good old friend. Next, we have the Solemn Recruit, the Double Strike, and all the stuff that we just spoke about. Next up is Ajani's Aid. It's an enchantment for 1 white, 2 green, 2 colorless. And when it enters the battlefield, you may search your library or graveyard for Ajani. Reveal it, put it into your hand. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. Sacrifice Ajani's Aid. Prevent all combat damage a creature of your choice would deal this turn. It's a good way to stop a heavy hit. So to stop a heavy hit, and there's 2 of these in here. I could probably make use of this at an FNM. Next up is Aid from the Cow. It's 2 green, 3 colorless. Its Revolt ability. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a permanent card, you may put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, you may put it on the bottom of your library. And there are only 1 of these. And next up is Non-Renegade. It's a 1 green. My apologies on the on. It's 1 green. Has Death Touch. It is a 1/2 creature. And its Revolt ability is when it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on. It enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn. So you can sack an artifact, say the Renegade map, and it will pay for the Revolt ability. There's 2 of them in here. There is I don't think I got any of him at pre-release. No. There is a Verdant Automatron. He is a artifact creature, a 2 colorless artifact creature. He's a 1/2, but this is where it gets fun. You may tap 1 green and 3 colorless and put a +1/+1 counter on him. It's expensive to power him up, but those counters don't go away, which could be useful because you keep building him up, building up, building him up. As soon as you've got 4 mana, you can build him up. If you don't have the cards to play that turn, it's sort of like, well, and you don't have any instant, it's sort of like, well, and you have him on your field, it's like, well, you might as well power him up, might as well make use of that mana. It's there for a reason. Next up is another creature. It's a 1 green, 1 colorless. Ajani's Comrade. There's Renegade. There's Automatron. And here is Ajani's Comrade. He has Trample, he's a 2/2, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control Ajani, if you control an Ajani Planeswalker, put a +1/+1 counter on Ajani's Comrade. This doesn't mean this Ajani, it means all Ajanis. So he is useful outside of this. I need some more Ajanis. I want to see what other Ajanis could fit into this. I might be able to stick a Nissa into this as well, maybe, but I'm unsure. Next up is a 3. Lots of a Audacious Infiltrator, which is a 1 white, 1 colorless banner. And it cannot be blocked by artifact creatures. And it's a 3/1. That there. That could be good. Can't be blocked by artifact creatures. So in a vehicle heavy deck, it can't be blocked by vehicles. In a Breya commander deck from the 2016 precons, again, that uses a lot of artifact creatures, can't be blocked. The Tezzeret uses a lot of artifact creatures, can't be blocked. Next up is Gurapur Guide. This one is a Kaladesh card, which explains why I recognized it just really straight away. It is a 1 green, 2 colorless, a 3/2, and also has a 1 green, 2 colorless ability. Target creature you control can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. So indeed, he can help out very well. Next up, we have another green, 1 green, 2 colorless, 2/2 creature. That's Girapo. Going back to this creature, Silk Weaver Elite has reach, so it can block flying. And its revolt is whenever it enters the battlefield, if a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, draw a card. So it's a draw. You can get good cards from draws. Next up is Dead Eye Harpooner. It is a 1 plain, 1 white, 2 colorless mana for a 2/2 with revolt. So when it enters the battlefield, if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, destroy tap target creature an opponent controls. You can use him to instantly destroy a tapped creature your opponent controls. What could be better than that? Next up is Armorcraft Judge. A 1 green, 3 colorless, 3/3. When he enters the battlefield, draw a card for each creature you control with a +1/1 counter on it. Can be very useful. Trust me, it can be very useful. I was running it in the pre-release that I have won at least 1 card on. Next up is one of the cards we had mentioned earlier in the excerpt, Lifecraft Cavalry. It is a 1 green, 4 colorless, has trample, and its revolt is when it enters the battlefield with 2 +1/1 counters on it. If a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, it's a 4/4. Pretty swifty. Swifty! Ooh. Now this is a good one. 2 green mana, 3 colorless. Rich Scale Tusker. So when it enters the battlefield, put a +1/1 counter on each other creature you control. Next up, we have another card for the same cost as that one, but instead of green, it is white. And it is flying as well. And its revolt is when it enters the battlefield. If it's a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, you gain 5 life. This is the card. He is expensive to summon, but he seems worth it. 5, yeah, no, that's pretty good. Next up, we have 3 Renegade maps. Now, this is basically an artifact, a one-time use artifact that is a fetch land. So it enters the battlefield tapped, but you can summon it turn 1. And you sacrifice it, search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. If your mana's screwed, you're no longer mana screwed, because you can get a mana out, you can help yourself, you can revolt off of this because you control this is put artifact, so it's a permanent, so you can control when it sacks. Next up, we have the good old prayer pond. So target creature you control fights each target creature you don't control. Last printed in Eldritch Moon. This artwork is much nicer than the Eldritch Moon artwork, which I honestly I'm not keen for. I'm not keen for at all. I have a version of it here. So, it looks cool, but this looks cooler. I got one of these at pre-release as well. So in my modern deck, if I didn't have this, well, I'll replace one of them. Next up is Unbridled Growth. It's 1 green enchantment aura on a land. An enchanted land has tap it to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, and you can sacrifice this to draw a card. So this is useful if you're stuck with all greens. You like, oh look, one of my greens is now any color, so then you can use it for white. There are 2 of them in this deck, and it looks quite nice. That is an enchantment. Next up is an instant for 1 green, 1 colorless. And it's used to combat this. Put target artifact on the bottom of its owner's library. Alternately, you use it to send a renegade map to the bottom of your own library to then pay for revolt without losing your artifact. Next, we have one of the greatest vehicles in Aether Revolt. Is Daredevil Dragster. It's basically Renegade Freighter, but a car. At the end of it's crew 2. So at the end of combat, if it was attacked or blocked this turn, this combat, put a velocity counter on it. Then, if it has 2 or more velocity counters on it, sacrifice it and draw 2 cards. Next up, see, while it's an artifact vehicle, I imagine there's a lot more artifact vehicles than the other one, and I kind of want to make an artifact vehicle standard deck. I'm very curious on making such. I'll probably just, I don't know. I'll work something out. Probably red-white, because of all the pilots. I've got 2 renegade motorists. Then you got the vehicle modification as well. Next up, I have a 4 of. It is an inspiring roar. So one white, 3 colorless. I can put a +1/+1 counter on each creature I control. I can do that 4 times at sorcery speed. Then next up, going back to our good old friend Kaladesh, is a 1 white, 1 green, 3 colorless sorcery. Choose one of the 2. Target creature gets +5/5 and trample until end of turn. Or creatures I control get +2/2 and gain vigilance until end of turn. So you can either buff out one creature to be massive or multiple creatures to be good. The vigilance means that they stay pretty much upright. And the rest of what we've got is lands. First one is Tranquil Expanse, which is like this one is the switcheroo. That thing, switcheroo. I'm going to call it that now. It's the either green, tap either for green or white. There's 4 of them, and then it's a beautiful picture on it. It's just absolutely beautiful. Then the rest of these are just basic land. So yeah, some nice cards in that. What I might do is, I don't know, I don't want to use this at an FNM yet next week because I have an energy deck that I need to modify as well. But I might face this against that one. I'll Tezzeret, see how they perform against each other. And then decide how to mod it. If I feel it needs modding at all, that is. Like, if I do anything, it might just be the land drops. It might just be the land drops. Because I do believe I quickly check my trusty folder here. What stuff do I have that is legal? In this. That's not. Neither is that one. I might just be stuck with Tranquil. Because my other ones do not appear to be legal for such deck. No. Blossoming Sands was just in Khans. That's not going to work. No, looks like this boy's not getting anything added to that for the time being. It seems no. No, it's not. I'll probably look for some more stuff that is legal for green white. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Um, Stay tuned because, or sort of, let's do it like this. So we'll have a Tezzeret one up in very shortly, probably. But if you wish to see such right now, click on Tezzeret. If you want me to watch me crack some Aether Revolt packs, click here. Other than that, thank you guys very much for watching Brave Time Leap, and thank you much for exploring the deck with me. I look forward to running it and modding it and seeing what I want to do with it with Standard, because that will be legal for some time. Always good to have a base to go off. I didn't with my energy deck, but some friends helped me. So, yes, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.